As if there was any doubt. Hello, Craig. Hello.
Hello.
This is the best Damn Illini Postgame Show from No One Asked Us. He is Craig Choate. I am Logan Lee coming to you live.
Are we just going to
after.
officially rebrand? Like, should we just do it?
I mean,
We haven't talked about it.
We don't really do a regular show. I'll get to that in a second, though. That's a fun thing I was going to point out to you. Coming to you right after the shellacking. I added an extra syllable. Shellacking of Penn State in Champaign, 91-52 is the final. Before we get started, as always, like, share, subscribe, get in the comments, get in the chat, let us know your thoughts, ask your questions. We'll get to some of those. We're not going to hang on here for too terribly long. I don't think we need to spend too much time dwelling on this game. But obviously we wanted to hop on here and at least chat about it. Real quick, since you were talking about the rebranding, we had this show called No One Asked Us. Are you familiar with the Netflix show, the Kristen Bell show, Nobody Wants This? Are you familiar with this?
Heard of it.
Okay. Well, I had heard of it. I hadn't watched it. Allison started watching it this week, and come to find out, Nobody Wants This is the name of the show, but it's also the name of the podcast that the characters on the show have. Like, that's the premise. Apparently, her and her sister have a podcast. It's called Nobody Wants This. And it sounds a lot like No One Asked Us. I don't think anybody came to me for royalties or for copyrights or anything like that, or permission. I mean, whatever. It's fine. Andy Cat says hi, and Logan, your mom says hi. Hello, Mom. Great to hear you. Great to hear from you. Right off the top here, thoughts? How are the vibes? Let's talk about the vibes.
Can I be honest with you? I feel like I can always be honest with you.
Why couldn't you? This is a safe place. It's the internet. Of course, it's a safe place. There's nobody listening.
I didn't see that coming. With all the variables going on tonight, Penn State, we talked about it the other night after the Wisconsin game. Never played good against Penn State. Lost, only won 4 of the last 10 matchups against Penn State or something like that. Haven't beat them in 2 years. And then the news drops. How long was it before tip? Like an hour?
If less that, like hour? 40 minutes, yeah.
That KJ is out. Going up against one of the best defensive teams in the Big Ten, per KenPom, I believe. I think they were a top 5 in the Big Ten for sure, defensively in KenPom, but one of the better ones. I had bad feelings going in, and then you got down. I don't know it was like 7-2, so it wasn't a whole lot, but things just looked awful. Offensively looked awful, and that's when I texted you. I was like, all right, I'm not feeling this one tonight. I just thought it was a bad spot. Yeah. And then I'm going to be completely honest. I was feeding Bennett at the time, through the first 10 minutes of the game. So I wasn't able to fully pay attention. I was just,
as you do,
kind of in and out. What happened? How did it flip just like that? I know defensively we really stepped it up.
Locked him down defensively, and Ben Humrichous made 3 threes in the span of about 5 minutes. And
see, I missed his first little spurt.
I really
tuned in when he hit his 4th 3. They said so. I missed the Humrichous.
I don't know the exact time of when it all happened, but yeah, it just kind of snowballed on him really quick. And the other, yes. Let's talk about the Illinois side of this. Obviously, Kasparas was out this game. Don't know the extent of this forearm injury. Hopefully, it's nothing too concerning. But either way, he wasn't there tonight. And the other thing, and I don't know how big of a factor it was, but Ace Baldwin went down.
Yeah.
On a hard hard contact. He just landed awkwardly, I guess. And he played all of 15 minutes in the first half and didn't play the rest of the game. So, again, not that he was going to make the 40-point difference, but that is their all Big Ten player that also did not play.
That
but
was
yeah,
early too. Like he took
yeah, it
that
was
charge
super
from
early.
Boswell like a
Yeah,
minute
it
into the
was
game.
super early. Yeah. So he played on that for another 10 minutes or so. But either way. So yeah, Illinois just pounces on them early, and it just gets away. Ben Humrichous was the leading scorer on the night for Illinois, 21 points from him. Nearly all of that was in the first half. 19 in the first half. He was 5 for 9 from the 3-point line. 8 for 15 from the field. Also 9 rebounds. Ben was 1 rebound away from a double-double. Would you have guessed a month ago, had I told you that Ben Humrichous was a double-double candidate in mid-January? Would you have believed that?
No,
Okay.
not for a second. He had 2 points and 1 rebound in the second half, but he only played 6 minutes.
He's turned a corner. He has turned a corner. We talked about that at length last game, so I don't think we need to spend too much time on it. Tre White, also 20 points from him, 7 rebounds, and then Morez Johnson, double-double, 20 points, 11 boards in 20 minutes. He's an efficient basketball player.
He missed a shot. Yeah, he missed 2.
He's he 9 for 11 from the field, 2 for 5 from the free throw line. But yeah, great 20 minutes for Morez. Those were the only 3 Illinois players in double figures. Illinois put up 91 points. They had 3 players in double figures. Their best player did not play. Kylan Boswell scored 5 points. Tomislav Ivisic had 4 points.
Yeah.
and Illinois still puts up 90 points and beats Penn State by 40.
That was a conversation in the group chat. How do you guard Illinois? How do you defend this team?
If they're clicking, you can't. I mean, they're going to have their moments and they're going to have their games where they're going to struggle like they did in the second half against Washington. And those are the opportunities where teams are going to have to beat them. But you cannot successfully defend Illinois when they have multiple guys clicking. There's just too many weapons. There are 8 guys legitimately on this team that can light you up at any particular time. Now, I don't expect Dre Gibbs Lawhorn and Jake Davis to be double figure type of guys all the time, but they showed they could do it this past week out on the West Coast. Will Riley, we're still waiting for him to kind of turn that corner like Humrichous has.
Yeah.
I think that's coming. But either way, like there's a lot of guys on this team. We haven't seen much from Ivisic in weeks. But he's still there. He's still a factor. Like he's still one of the best post players in the conference, even though he's not putting up quite the numbers that you might want to see. But they haven't needed him to. They got 60 points from 3 guys tonight. One of them was the backup center. I mean, you don't need all those guys to have those nights.
Yeah,
this is an extremely deep basketball team, and I was worried about it tonight. I was worried about the guard situation. Obviously, when you lose your best player, your point guard, yes, this team is deep talent-wise, but like, how deep are they from the guard position specifically? Will Riley came in, got the start, didn't look great. Finished with 7 points. I think at least 3 of those were in garbage time. But Dre Gibbs Lawhorn gives you the energy. He got 9 points in 20 minutes. He had another. Did he have the block, or was it just the chase down? He had something that he kind of came out of nowhere again on tonight.
Sorry, I was looking at the box score. What were you talking about?
I was just talking about Dre, but he had 9 points. Will Riley 7, Kylan Boswell 5.
That's what I was going to talk about.
6 assists. Will Riley 7 points.
7, 6, rebounds, and 6.
6 assists.
He did everything.
Yeah, he did everything.
His shots just aren't falling, and that's early in the season. I mean, he obviously scored 31 points in whatever game that was. Was it Eastern?
Yeah.
Scored 31 points.
Yeah.
He was hitting shots. He's just not hitting shots now, but he's not taking bad shots. That's the thing. And you said it. He's going through the same thing that Ben went through for the last month. The shots are good shots. Good shot selection. He's not forcing things. He's missing outside shots, and when he gets inside the paint or in close to the rim, he just looks timid. He's not attacking, and he's obviously small, so he does take some contact. But man, if this team can get Will Riley going, oh my God.
Yeah, they're dangerous. Illinois was 44% from the field. A lot of those type of numbers were fairly equal. I think the biggest difference was the rebounding battle. Illinois beat them 57-32. Second chance points 18-2. Bench points 34-16. I think those were kind of the biggest differences there. And 3-pointers. Illinois was 10 for 31 from three. I think they made 5 3-pointers against Washington, so they doubled that today. 32% from distance. What's going on in the chat? You got some people here that want to say hi before we move on?
A lot of Morez talk. I might have already shown this one. I've shown a lot of them already.
Yeah, Morez was the player of the game. I mean, Humrichous had the incredible first half, and it's hard to not say he's the player of the game for what he did there. But I mean, I think you have to give it to Morez. 20 points, 11 rebounds. He was all over the court. He was in the right place at the right time. I don't know. He scored his first 3 or 4 baskets were all dunks. He just does a lot. Yes, Ben had a huge first half and was really the difference maker in getting the lead early that they did and holding on to that. But he only scored 2 points in the entire second half. He picked up a third foul pretty early, and he didn't really play much after that for a while. They didn't really need him to. They kind of just let the other guys ride it out. But yeah, I would say, I mean, if I was going to give a player of the game tonight, it would definitely be Morez Johnson.
Yeah, I agree.
Michael,
this was just commenting or following up on what you just said about the fouls.
Yeah. Blake, what's up, Blake? Love to hear some Bruce Weber Atlanta game reviews on Big Ten. Yeah, I like Bruce. I like when he's on the call. I've never been a huge Sean Morris fan, and I know where you stand on Andy Katz. I'm not a huge Andy Katz fan either. But I like
one of the couple national reporters that have me blocked on Twitter.
Do you want to talk about Andy Katz's comment tonight? Does it deserve
which one? I don't remember which one he talked about.
It was when they went to him. It was when they went to him and he talked about Ty Rodgers.
Yeah, what'd he say?
He was basically, they just chose a time in the second half when Illinois was up 30 to bring up the fact that Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn is the only player on the roster that was a part of the team last year, but he was supposed to be one of 2 players, and that Ty Rodgers decided right before the season started to redshirt. But his reasoning, according to Andy Katz, is that so he could work on becoming a better point guard, because after they lose KJ this year, they're going to need a point guard for next year. And that's what Ty Rodgers is working on right now, to become a better point guard for this team next year. Listen.
I mean, that says everything you need to know about Andy Katz. I don't do this a lot, but I don't even care. He's a fucking dumbass.
It's just funny because, for one, why do we need to bring that up? Who, at this point, who needs to know this? Who's listening to this game that needs to hear that? 2, all you're doing is confusing Illinois fans. I'm not here to suggest that Ty Rodgers is or isn't going to be on this team next year. That's not what the point is.
He's not going to be on this team.
That's not what I'm trying to say. But you don't need to be bringing that up in the game. And he's not gonna be the point guard. That's just not a thing.
Yeah. Even if he is back, he's not gonna be the point guard.
No, I just found it amusing that's how they managed to. They brought Andy Katz with them to Champaign so he could conveniently report at the top of the show that KJ wasn't going to play, and then he could use his airtime in the second half to talk about Ty Rodgers.
Worst college basketball reporter in the country.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just useless.
Anyway, move on. What else you got? Other chat related things?
More from Blake.
Kylan, yeah, huge offseason pickup. Even when he doesn't score, he does a lot of the little things to help and win. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously they were all huge offseason pickups because this entire team was offseason pickups. But yeah, I mean, him and Tre White, I think both have been huge pieces to this team. They don't always need to be the guy, and they have all the right skill sets that complement the other guys really well. And we've talked about Tre a lot the last couple episodes. He also has really turned a corner. This team just looks night and day different than what they looked like a month ago. And not that they looked bad a month ago. They didn't. They didn't play great against Alabama, and they laid an egg at the end of the game against Tennessee. But this team hasn't looked bad this year. But players like Tre White and like Ben Humrichous have really made some serious strides to be the focal points of this offense when KJ's not on the court. So yeah, he's been huge.
See what Tim has to say.
Timmy, defense was as good as it's been all year in the first half. Yeah, I would agree. The defense was pretty locked down. This is a Penn State team that's good. They've definitely had some success against some other opponents, and you talked about the defense. But yeah, the Illinois defense was really strong in the first half, and it was Ben's shooting that sparked it. But yeah, the defense was kept the whole thing going.
I'm stunned by the defense this year.
Remember when
after the first couple games, I was like, all right, going to be another season of 95 to 90 games and giving up 85 points a game, and we're up to 7th overall in KenPom, and I believe 7th in defense. Yes.
Yeah.
7th overall and 7th in defense, 19th in offense. Just
the defense is a lot better.
It starts with Kylan. I said that from the get-go. I said this team's going to go as Kylan Boswell goes, and he starts on the defensive end. Early in the season, when he was scoring 4 or 5 points a game, he was still one of the most important players on the team because he was guarding their best player and locking him down. He shut down Mark Sears, and Sears is the best player, one of the best players in the SEC.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing that I think I commented on it several weeks ago, and it's a completely different situation now, but this team's playing a heck of a lot faster than I thought they were going to. I knew they were going to put up points because they were going to shoot a lot of threes, but I wasn't sure if this team had the horses to play the fast break, get up and down the court style stuff.
In tempo.
And yeah, the tempo has improved and has really surprised me. I think a lot of that comes from Tre White too. I think he's a big part of that. Kylan can do it. KJ's getting better about doing it. So yeah, that's definitely changed a lot as well. Illinois started this game 11th in KenPom. After the win, they're up to 7th. So into the top 7 in KenPom. As of today, they were 8th in the net. I imagine that number will go up tomorrow as well. This is just nice to see. This is I agree with you. I wasn't exactly sure what we were getting ourselves into tonight, and the way the game started, it certainly was a little concerning. But things started to click, man. And when this team's clicking, there aren't many teams that are going to beat them because you just can't stop them. You can't defend it, and it's going to be nearly impossible for most teams to be able to defend Illinois. When they have, 3 or 4 guys that are firing the way they have been. So there's too many weapons. I think that's just what it comes down to. There's just too many weapons on this team.
I don't know why, but tell me why I chuckled when I saw this picture. Why does that make me laugh?
I don't know. Why does it make you laugh? You think he's modeling for GQ or something?
I think that's why, because that's what it looks like. He's out there posing, leaning on the rail.
Where did you get this? Was this on Tyler's Instagram or something?
College basketball content on Twitter.
That's fun photo.
CBB content on Twitter.
But yeah, I mean, this was a fun game. This is a pleasant surprise for a team that has struggled against Penn State the last couple 2, 3, 7 seasons. This is nice to jump on them early and not have to really worry about it too much.
Okay,
and I mentioned
from
go ahead.
From Warner. KJ has some inflammation and soreness in his left arm. Just thinking about the young man's best interest for the future.
Yeah,
So when they said that he went through warm-ups and then they said he couldn't go and he was in uniform, I'm not super concerned about it.
No, I wouldn't be either.
Because
of
that.
You may not. Maybe he sits out another game or 2 or something. But no, I don't think I would be super concerned about it. Speaking of that, though, upcoming schedule. So I tweeted this out earlier this week, and we kind of touched on this at one point, but this is the time to stack up the wins. Because so I tweeted this out on the 6th on Monday. So Illinois has, as of then, Illinois had 17 games remaining. The average net ranking of their next 10 opponents, which included Penn State, was 60 as of Monday. The average net rankings for their last 7 opponents was 23. This is a very favorable next month or so of the schedule. So just keep stacking up these wins. That's really all I got. I mean, USC comes into town on Saturday. They're not exactly the cream of the crop. They're currently 93 in the net. And then you go to Indiana, which, I mean, I'm sure that'll be a highly contested ball game, but
we could lose that game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Could you lose that game? And you go to Michigan State after that. So those are 2 tough ones right there. But either way, this is the time to stack up the wins. If you're Illinois, you improved to 12
of the last 7 games are quad 1 games.
Yeah, right.
And the other one is Iowa.
Yep.
So Iowa is Iowa. They put up. That was Wisconsin put up 116. I feel like Iowa put up a big game the other day too.
Okay, yeah. Who was that against? Let's see.
They scored 112 against New Hampshire. Whoa. Wife's home. Okay. They scored 97 in overtime against Nebraska. So okay. I don't know what I was talking about.
That's Nebraska.
Michael's got some questions for us.
They scored 112 against New Hampshire. Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Kind of talking about it right now. How many
losses for this team? So they're at, what are they at? 3 right now?
3.
Let's see. 1, 2. I don't know, man. I think you could manage to get through this Big Ten schedule with no more than 3, 4.
More or total?
No more than Big Ten losses.
So you're saying like 16-4 or 17-3?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more likely that they will lose more than that, but just looking at the schedule, like they're favored in most every game they're about to play.
Yeah, I Bootzilla is in here already responded. I say 15-5 with 16-4 being a very good possibility.
Yeah. I think 16-4, 15-5 would be a great place to go because
should win you the conference.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a clear front runner favorite right now. Illinois is
Michigan.
Analytically speaking, Illinois is the best team in the Big Ten. And yes, Michigan is up to 11 in Ken Palm, but other than that, it's not really even close. So
his other question was, who are the top 3? So we just kind of touched on that as well.
Yeah, and I think it's still Purdue. I just don't
see it.
I mean, maybe not, but like I still trust They have the reigning player of the year or the preseason player of the year, and they have one of the best 3 coaches in the Big Ten. I mean, I think they'll end up there by the end. But we'll see. UCLA is good. Oregon,
I have
good, despite what happened against Illinois.
I have a ticket available to me for Friday, March 5th at the State Farm Center against Purdue.
Oh, you gonna go?
Do I take that offer?
Probably should.
Seriously debating it. The week before we have something, and the week after we have something. So it's like if I do that, I'm on the road 3 weekends in a row. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still debating.
You get a lot of time to make that decision, I guess, unless they need to know now.
Yeah,
could be. All right, we've been on here about 30 minutes. Any other comments you want to hop in with? Feature, shout out, people you want to shout out, things you want to discuss?
No, I think I'm good for tonight.
Okay. All right, well then we'll shut her down. Illinois tops Penn State at home tonight, 91-52 in Champaign. Next one is Saturday against USC. That one is also in Champaign. I believe that's an 11 o'clock Central Time tip. 9 o'clock a.m. for the Trojans. I guess that means they'll just be able to be home earlier. But yeah, we'll probably do a show Saturday. I don't know. Are you around? I don't know if I am.
Should be.
Okay. Well, we might be here. But yeah, so that's coming up on Saturday, and then after that, a couple of tough road games, Indiana and Michigan State next week. So be nice to get a win on Saturday. Start the Big Ten season with a 4-1 record. And
who are you rooting for tomorrow?
Are you asking me because of my the shirt that I'm wearing?
We're both wearing different. I'm wearing SIU.
Go Dogs. There's a couple big football games coming up the next couple nights.
No, I laugh because Rothstein tweeted, "I hate group text. Just got one as an invite to go to some bar on the Upper East Side tomorrow night to watch Notre Dame Penn State. I had to tell these people Penn State got blown out tonight by Illinois and they don't play tomorrow." He is legitimately like, I think at this point it's a bit, but
it is, but it's funny.
Like, there's nothing else that matters except for college basketball.
Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. All right. Let's shut it down so we can go to bed. 91-52 final for Craig. I'm Logan. Thank you all for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys probably Saturday, but if not, next week. Peace.
Wanted some lasers, but they're not working.
Yeah, it wasn't. Are we still live? It still says we're live.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking.